Ever wonder why a toy that seems totally harmless one year, it's yanked off every shelf in America the next year? It is not magic. It is usually a group of very determined, very unglamorous people called consumer advocates who spotted the problem before it became a headline. Groups like these spend their days testing things you would never think twice about, like whether a crib slat is exactly the right width or whether a stroller wheel can trap tiny fingers. They are basically the food tasters of the parenting world, except instead of poison, they are checking for choking hazards and lead paint. Here is the plain truth. A single parent complaining online rarely moves a giant company to act, but a report from an organized safety group with data behind it absolutely can. That is because these organizations do not just say, "This feels unsafe," they run tests, collect injury numbers, and build a paper trail a mile long. When an injury lawyer picks up a child product case, that paper trail becomes gold, because it turns one family's bad day into proof of a pattern. Think of it like this. One kid getting hurt by a wobbly high chair might look like bad luck, but 1,000 complaints about the exact same wobble starts looking a whole lot like a design flaw. Consumer advocacy groups are often the ones connecting those dots long before any courtroom gets involved. They track recalls, they comb through federal safety databases, and they basically become the neighborhood gossip network, except the gossip is backed by actual science. A lot of people assume a product is safe just because it is sitting on a store shelf with a shiny package. That is one of the biggest myths out there, because shelf space has never once been proof of safety. It is proof of marketing. This is where things get a little funny in a dark way. Some products pass basic legal requirements but still manage to hurt kids, kind of like how a car can technically pass inspection while still making a weird noise you probably should not ignore. Advocacy groups exist to catch exactly that gap between technically legal and actually safe. They push for stricter testing standards, and sometimes their pressure is the entire reason a law even gets updated in the first place. When a lawyer builds a case for a child hurt by a defective product, they often lean on these advocacy reports the same way a detective leans on witness statements. It adds credibility, it adds urgency, and honestly, it adds a bit of "see, we told you so" energy. Doubt creeps in sometimes too, especially from people who think these groups are just being dramatic or overly cautious. But when you look at how many products have been quietly redesigned after enough pressure, it is hard to call that overreaction. It is closer to preparation. Preparation really is the whole game here. Waiting until something bad happens instead of double-checking safety standards early on is like waiting for a smoke alarm to go off instead of checking the batteries. Community voices matter too, not just official reports. Parents sharing their stories, even messy unofficial ones on forums or social media, often plant the very first seed that an advocacy group later turns into an actual investigation. So the next time you hear about a stroller recall or a toy pulled from shelves, know that it probably did not happen overnight. It likely took months of advocates connecting dots, gathering evidence, and refusing to let a small warning sign get ignored. If any of this hit close to home, or if you are dealing with something similar right now, do you want to learn more about our company? Check out our links in the description.